Hey guys, Rick Marks here. Just going to touch on trusting the SME. I've learnt over my years that you will not know everything all the time, and learning when and who to trust. So working in a multifaceted environment, you often have to learn who is your go-tos. And the importance of understanding and building the relationship so that you can get to a stage of being able to trust what their information and what their guidance is. And more often than not, I often find that people get in their head a particular, outcome or a pathway, and then the problem is the SME then comes in, but they're not swayed into actually even rethinking about how they were seeing it before they invited the SME in. So why do we have SMEs and what are they? So each person has obviously a different interest in different trade, and it's important that we actually learn to, again, trust one another on those aspects. So if that's your field of expertise, I know I'm not an expert in that field. So when you're telling me something, I'm actually trusting and believing what you're telling me is accurate and in tune. No different to if the tables were turned and you were relying on my knowledge and expertise to educate or to provide you with information or the like. And it's when you end up just cheapening a relationship or making somebody feel less value when you actually get an SME in, but then ignore or block everything they offer as a solution. That in itself is almost like a slap to the face to that person, because it's like, well, yeah, it might be your SME and you might, that's your opinion, but I'm going to stick with what I know. And really that's just sort of stupidity or an element of being dumb, because you're choosing not to take their advice and their knowledge, which is the whole reason why you reached out to them in the first place. So it's all kind of counterproductive and whatnot, but I see it a lot in a lot of workplaces and a lot of cultures where they're almost sad or scared or fearful that because you're telling me all this stuff, and if I go your way, then that makes me look less intelligent because I didn't come up with it. And I think once you can break away from that mindset of I have to be the one to get all the answers or have all the answers, and you realize that it's about collaboration and about actual the blending, you and yourself have done yourself a justice by going to that person. So if you use their advice, you're not making yourself look incompetent or lacking. You're actually being smart, because that's the whole reason you pay them. If they're a consultant, you brought them in to get that information. If they're on your payroll, that's why you pay them their salary, is to be the SME, the expert in that field. So you're not actually making yourself look lesser or anything. You're actually smart because that's the whole reason for their existence. So I think when managers and when leaders can break away from feeling like they have to have all the solutions, they have to be the provider, and they can realize they're actually just a vessel, and if I can get the orchestration from you and take that information and provide it here, I am doing my job. My job as a manager, as a leader of any company or of any organization, is as a consultant. It's not to have all the answers, it's to know where to go to get the answers and how to do it quickly, how to do it efficiently, and how to then present it and provide it back. It's purely just a transactional element. It's not me saying I don't have the answers, so we're doomed. And I think that's that mindset. Many managers don't know how to manage. So if you actually got staff, and I've been in the position myself where I was lost my job because I was deemed too smart for the job by the manager. Now, in review of that, the manager themselves, it highlighted a lack of their ability to manage. Because if you have really good staff, which is what every manager ideally really wants, is great staff, then you need to work out how you tune that and how you utilize and harness that energy or those thoughts or the methodologies or whatever it is that you feel threatened by, and work out how you can then harness that, rebrand it, and then deliver that to the client or to your industry, whatever it be, and you represent it and you wear it. You're the manager. I was never trying to get myself seen as the deliverer, and it could have been rebranded by the manager, and he could have taken my smartness and made himself smarter by using me in the shadows as a working cog in the machine, but instead he felt threatened and he threw it out of the machine altogether. So it's important to understand as a manager and as a leader of who all the cogs are, where all their strengths are, and ensuring that you've got the right cog in the right position. And this reflects back on one of my videos around value and knowing your worth, and understanding also the booming of business. So when you've got the right person in the right position, you're essentially making your machine as efficient as it can. And that ideally is what you want. You want the team of all of the bests underneath you as a leader, and you as a leader are orchestrating. Look, I often get the vision and the visual of an orchestra, a band, you know, a symphony, and the conductor up the front. You as the manager, as the leader, are the conductor up the front. Now you may not know how to play the trombone, the saxophone, the drums, all the different instruments. That's fine, you don't need to. What you need to know is how you bring all of those noises together essentially and make them sound amazing. And that, when you can actually do that, when you can get the right person playing the drums, you can get the right person playing the flute, you can get the right person playing the saxophone, that is the master to being the best. Is you then have an orchestra that is playing beautiful music. Now I'm sure we've all been to a school band or similar, like an elementary if you're American, or primary school, and it sounds good for the age, and you've got to like kind of give the credits where it's due. And so it's not an attack on that, because I was in a band at that age as well, but they're certainly not going to compare to some of the best orchestras in the world as an adult orchestra. People who have gone off to university, studied, they've spent their number of years studying that instrument and being really good at it, and reading music and being able to play quite elaborate pieces of music. And that's, I guess, the difference, as well as the workers. Pick your instrument and get out there, learn how to play it, get the best at it, and then you need to work out what orchestra, what band you're going to be part of that works, where it's got a good conductor up front that's pulling it all together and making beautiful music rather than squeaky mess of a noise. That's what I got for you guys. If you've enjoyed it, chuck some comments. If you want to hit thumbs up because you've enjoyed it. And until the next video where you'll see me, keep it safe.